Hello, it's Big Chads, and this is the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education series on my YouTube at Chads Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Chads and Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. For today's lesson, we're going to talk about the red Marubozu candle. Now, you've heard me tweeting about it before. I actually have other videos on the red and the green, but I want to talk specifically about a red Marubozu candle. So you can pause and, of course, read this on your own time to get a sense of it, but it's important. It talks about the body size and the wick and the context. Let's show you a picture of it. So the word itself, Marubozu, means dominant. And it's really a dominating candle. So the context is important, of course, but a red Marubozu candle that comes after some type of a move up, even like giving you a bearish engulfing, would be a very powerful signal. So, for example, if you had the price advancing, and then we have another advance, then maybe a big red Marubozu. It's also an outside bar in this case. That makes the candle even more significant. Now, of course, the Marubozu, it's important to note that it has no upper or lower shadow in the textbook in the most perfect case. Now, of course, it says small or no shadow. You can have a very tiny bit of a shadow. It talks about a full Marubozu, an open, or a closed, a little bit of a nuance, a little bit of an academic, kind of a nerdy, if you will, variant. But the idea with the Marubozu is that it's a shaven top or a shaven bottom. And that concept means no upper or lower shadow. It can be a trend reversal or a trend continuation. I showed you in my example here, which would be a trend reversal, where you have a move up and then a big red Marubozu. Now, of course, with Japanese candlestick theory, we're paying close attention to volume. So, for example, if we had heavy volume, and then like a light volume red Marubozu, even with the the ideal wick structure, i.e. no wick, right? Even ideally with zero lower shadow, right? Because if this is like a big red candle with a long lower shadow, that would show some buying pressure. But even with the perfect construction and no lower shadow, light volume might make you think, I'm not as confident in this move. But move up with a big candle, light, big volume, that would be a big deal. Now, in terms of the continuation variant or variety, say you have a move down, you do some type of consolidation, we'll call it a bear flag. And you break perhaps out of the bear flag on a big red Marubozu, and especially volume. Again, we know big volume on the flagpole, volume will trail off until the pattern completes. We get the volume trend. I have a video on that as well. On the breakdown, let's say you get a big red Marubozu on heavy volume. That would be a very bearish signal. You would definitely want to pay attention to it. But this is the Marubozu candle. Again, you can pause and read this. And this is for the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education series on my YouTube at Chads Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Chads and Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. Folks, thank you. Talk to you soon. Big Chads out.